Hey guys, welcome back to the Everything Tech channel, bringing you the world of technology. And today I'm going to be bringing you something new. I'm going to be calling it blind comparison, where I compare two computers that are priced the same, and I'm going to be comparing them spec-wise based on which or what hardware they have compared to each other, and picking the best one out of the group. And today I have the Dell Inspiron i3531, comparing it to the HP Stream 14 quad-core laptop with Beats Audio. This one is natural silver. Um, I will also be comparing it aesthetically wise, seeing which one's the most nicer looking. And here we have the Dell. And the Dell, starting off, has the Intel Celeron N2830 processor. And the HP has the AMD quad-core A4 6400T 1.0 gigahertz. I honestly never worked with AMD, but a 1 gigahertz processor, that would really account for the price point of this laptop. This one doesn't tell me how many gigahertz it has, so I'm going to go ahead and click on the more product details. And it tells me that it is a 2.1 gigahertz Intel Celeron processor. So this one right away is a slightly bit faster than the AMD. I could be wrong, but still 2.1 gigahertz for Intel is pretty fast since my computer has a 2.9 gigahertz. It is a 15.6 inch screen. Let's compare it to this one here. 14-inch screen, so roughly about the same size, sort of like a couple inches difference. This one has 2 gigs of DDR3L SD RAM. 2 gigs of RAM isn't really that much compared to the 4 gigabytes of DDR3 RAM that the Dell gives us, with a 500 gig mechanical hard drive storage. And this one gives us a mere 32 gigs of solid state memory with 100 gigs of OneDrive cloud storage. Now, don't even think about this OneDrive. Some people won't even use it. After 2 years, it's done. You're not going to have your computer for 2 years. So 32 gigs of solid state memory is not even as much as you really do think you need, because 32 minus 16 that the Windows 8 takes up, minus what it already was formatted to, it's going to leave you to about like 20 gigs maybe, or less, 15 gigs. So like, why would you even put 32 gigs of solid state memory? Maybe 120 gigs. Right away, that's something that I'm not going to consider if it has this much memory. So it is Windows 8.1 with a 6.5 hour battery life. The Dell, it has 6.5 hours of battery life. And where is the battery power? Oh wait, we just went over that. 6.5 hours of battery, and I believe it does run Windows 8.1. This one has a graphics processor is the Intel HD graphics, and on the HP, there it is there. I accidentally clicked. So let's just look at the more product details. It has the AMD Radeon R3 graphics, which probably isn't so fast, like not meant for gaming, since it is since everything else is lower in specs. It's 1 gig, 2 gigs of RAM. We already went over that. 1600 megahertz memory speed. Let's see if this one gives us the megahertz speed of the RAM, which I don't think it does. Should be 1600 megahertz since that's the standard and since they're both equally priced. This one has 2 USB 2.0 ports, so if you do like USB 3.0, this one has one of them, so that's one upside that this laptop has, with 2 USB 2.0 ports. Now this one the Dell weighs 4.7 pounds, with the HP weighing 3.9 pounds, so 3.9 pounds compared to 4.7. Of course, this one's the HP is a little bit lighter because it does have that solid state memory. It's much lighter than the traditional mechanical hard drive in this one right here. Now let's take a look at it aesthetically. As you can see there, it has some sort of like the dots on a football type pattern. I wouldn't really mind this. It actually looks quite nice. It might not be pleasing to you. Getting it from the side, there looks like what appears to be a CD drive. Let me check if that is true. It could be a CD drive and it could not be a CD drive. I've seen Dells that have that little slot there but don't actually have the CD drive there, because the same laptop model is used across the board, as you can see there. We do have what appears to be an HDMI cable. I'll go ahead and click on the picture. Right here is where the HDMI is and the two USB ports. The fan ports where you exhaust your heat, and this is where you plug in your charger. Let's take a look at another picture from the side. Nothing there to see except the CD drive right here. Since it's really dark, you probably can't see it. Here again, we see the HDMI, the fans, the charging port there, two USB ports, and a microphone jack. 3.5mm standard, no Beats audio, but you can plug in your Beats headphones if you have any, and you'll get the same results. Here it is, the laptop, the chiclet style keys, rounded edges, small trackpad. It's a little bit offset to the left. I'm used to it being centered, but offset to the left means you can use it with your left hand easier. And we do have physical buttons. Here's the power button, and then here's the Windows 8 key. I really missed the Windows 7 key, but I guess we have to change. All in all, let's take a look. Well, before we actually get my own opinion, let's take a look at the HP. We haven't given it some love. Here's the HP Stream with Beats audio. If storing stuff on your computer isn't what you intend on doing with this computer, then I'd go for this one, because this one does provide you with a 3.0 USB, so you can plug in your USB 3 hard drives to it. And I do like the silver here with the black. The black is there so you don't have to, so it's not as distracting when you're watching your videos. Here it is with Windows 8 running. I've seen Windows 8. Hopefully you have. Hopefully you've used it. If you like it, great. If you don't, oh well. So it does look kind of nice. It does resemble a MacBook. I know, because I have one and it does look like this. I don't know what this is for. If they just put it there as grip, I don't know. I don't like this. I wish it was all silver or whatever it is. I think it's plastic, but if it was all the same color all around, it would look nice. So there it is from the front instead of angled. Opened up, here we see the bottom. Usually here's where you find your RAM slots, but I'm sure if you could take this plate off here, you can access the RAM and you can take it out. Not the RAM, or maybe the RAM and the solid state memory, and take it out and install a new one, but then what would be the point? Here we have our USB ports right here. I'm not sure what that is. Here we have our charging port. And there is a video here. I don't want to play it because it might have copyrighted content on it. But aesthetically, I'm in the middle. I kind of like the Dell more because it's more one solid color all around and sticks to that color, including the back and the logo. So I would go with the Dell. Both of these laptops will have their respective links in the description in case you like one over the other. This is of course my own personal opinion on which one would I pick based on the specs. This is a blind comparison. I have neither of these computers, but this is something I look for when I am going to purchase a computer or when I am going to recommend a computer. Since both of these run Windows 8.1, that's out of the question. This one has a 15.6-inch screen with Intel HD graphics. This one has a 14-inch screen, which is a slightly bit smaller. If portability is an issue for you, go with this one. But if you plan on storing lots of things, a 500GB hard drive in the Dell Inspiron 3531 will be well enough for you. With the 4 gigs of RAM should help you at least do some basic video editing. And the Intel Celeron processor clocked at a 2.1 gigahertz should be a slightly bit faster than the 1.0 gigahertz AMD processor in the HP. Whichever one you choose, it doesn't matter. They're both equally priced. It all depends on what you're going to use it for. But if you're going to use this like a Chromebook, I'll do a Chromebook comparison. That'll be the next video I film, and the next video that'll be up, I will be comparing the Acer C720 Chromebook to the HP 11 Chromebook and seeing which one is better. Thanks a lot for watching, you guys. I hope you like this blind comparison. It gives you an idea of how I shop for computers or recommend computers. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.